up, YouTube? I am your host, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, back in here with yet one more video. Joined today by a very special returning guest, Sam.
Hey man, it's good to be back. We've going in on the content lately. He's been putting it out constantly.
Constantly.
Listen, good conversation.
Great conversations. Guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that alert button, all that good stuff. All right, so we got another Sara Lena video here. Men with low standards who will never be respected and are part of the problem. Are you familiar with her as a content creator?
I mean, I came across her. I think she's kind of dope. I mean, I'm not going to fly. Like, I listen to some of her stuff. I think her insight is great sometimes. And I think she hits on some good stuff. So yeah, I know who she is.
Yeah, I like the way that she has conversations about things, and she also does it in a way which is easy to listen to. She's not like yelling at you,
nagging, high voice, and everything.
All of that stuff.
Which drives me nuts.
Yeah, so it's easy to listen to. All right, well, we got nothing else.
Let's get right
into it. Without further ado.
And because this video is directed towards the brothers, and I know that men tend to digest information a little bit better when it is straight and direct to the point. So, in my last video, I talked about sisters with unrealistic standards and expectations. In this video, I'm going to be talking about brothers with low standards. Aside from feminism, the other main reason why so many sisters feel like they are entitled to a treatment and a praise that they are not deserving of, and that they feel like everyone should worship the ground they walk on, and that the only thing that they need to bring to the table is their looks and their yoni, is because there are so many brothers out there with low standards that are allowing them to believe that. There are so many brothers out there with low standards that don't require anything other than yoni and good looks from women, if the looks are even that good. There's so many yes men out there that kiss women's butt and don't require anything from them. You have to have higher standards, and it is not just about the respect and the loyalty and the support and the nurturing and the femininity. It's not just about that. It's also about, what is she doing with her life? Does she have any goals? Is she a homemaker? Is she passionate? Does she get along with other women, or is she one of those I don't get along with other women type of sisters? Does she take care of herself, or is she one of those take me as I am type of sisters? What standards does she have for herself? What type of mother is she?
Sara!
She's coming with it. For the men, she said,
she's holding women accountable.
I mean, I think men do enable a lot of that shit, man. A lot of it.
You think dudes with trash expectations are killing the game?
Exactly. Instead of, like, you ever see Boomerang? He was like, you pussy whip. No, you whip that pussy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of people, and she says, yoni, right? Yoni, sex, or whatever. I think as men, we are kind of very shallow. Now, I know a lot of people like, that's all we want, like some sex and everything else like that. But that does allow them to just kind of run it. They know that they can go in there, put it on you, whatever the case may be, and you over there catering.
And you simping.
You got to say no to the JJ, and that's hard.
Listen, we talk about this channel as well. I don't think we've had a discussion on it as well, but like the concepts of no fap, semen retention. And then I think there's a little bit of taking back a component of yourself that you have allowed to give out, right? So like, and within that, you give out your energy, and you can fall victim to someone selling you something that really is not that valuable in the first place, right? Like, I get it. If the yoni, or how I say viscosity, that's my terminology for it. Okay. The viscosity is fantastic. I get it. But it's like, but what are the other things that she's bringing to the table, right? Like, and then also within yourself, what are the things that you're bringing to the table? I think there has to be an assessment on your own as well. But I agree with her.
And for me, though, like, just to piggyback on what you're talking about, I don't like anything that could control me, or like, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people out here, like, sex be having them super whipped and controlled and things like that, and I feel like you gotta recognize that, and you gotta be like, am I contributing to this behavior? And then you wondering why you over there losing out, she leaves you, and you gonna put all that work in for an asshole guy, because that's not really what a bag is. And you gave up your life, you gave up your dreams for her, you know what I'm saying? Now she your baby mama, she done moved on, she done black Chinese you, you know what I'm saying? She got the bag from you, and now you sitting there like, just because she got that fat ass, she put it on you, and you was whipped. It's crazy. But let's get into it, man.
Well, I think you bring up massive points real quick. Let's just talk about it, because I do still think that, irrespective of, if you came into a situation for, because of the way her body looks, or into a situation because, body plus, she showed you a good game of things that she's interested in. It's like, how do you tell? Like, what are the components to tell? Like, we call them from unicorns from time to time. Another definition is like a white tiger or like a blue lobster. How do you find the blue lobster?
I don't know what none of this stuff means.
Right, like how do you find the blue lobster? The blue lobster is, the woman who can go against certain components of their nature, which allows them to be more feelings oriented, and then at the drop of a dime, or the whim of whatever, that she can leave that situation. Like, I think a blue lobster is someone who, whether or not you're up or down, will be able to stick with you through the bullshit and be able to pull you up through the bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's name some. I mean, I think, you know what I'm saying? Well, first, when I first heard your description, I'm thinking like, all right, Beyonce. Like, she been through some bullshit with Jay. And, she's still partitioned, you know what I'm saying? Drunk in love, surfboard. She's still, like...
She's still riding with him?
Still riding with him. But she's very logical, too. She about her back. Like, I think these, like, rarities... I'm trying to think of, you know what I'm saying, Michelle Obama. Not saying that she was, like, going through cheating and everything, but, having difficulties like, yo, you want to be a president of the United States? I got to fall back. Like, I made more money than you.
Yeah.
These blue lobsters...
She did fall back.
She fell back. She was balling. She was a community organizer. Like,
yeah, and she put her dreams on hold to help nurture it, and then
now
two,
now she's
together.
Now she got a book tour. She on Oprah, and because she's the first lady, she's in the history books, so she understood. But Barack Obama didn't enable her either, though. He's like, listen, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah,
get on board. You know what I'm saying? You got all the dope. He looked at her more than the looks and everything. I'm not gonna talk about the first lady's chocha, but you know what I'm saying, more than the looks and stuff. He looked at her like, all right, you got the Harvard background, she went to Princeton, something. Anyway, she got the background. She's doing her thing. She definitely high value, and we talked about that a couple times. High value individual, but he wasn't about to cater to that.
Yeah, he maintained the frame throughout his life, and then she respected and understood.
And she kind of fell back a little bit because she saw the potential in him. But that's rare, bro. A lot of cats would be like, "Oh my gosh, she's like on a CEO. She makes more than me. Let me go ahead and just go up under her."
Listen, I did a live stream a couple of days ago. Shout out to Willie Reed, subscriber, and he said he's married. Married relatively young. So we were talking about like what are the things or the components that why you chose to get married. And one of the things that he said is that like when he was at his lowest, his absolute lowest, she not only stuck with him, but then also pulled him up through paying for stuff, right? And he said that because of the actions that she showed through that relationship, that he felt like it was it made sense, right? I'm still not a proponent for it. I think there's still, but at the same time, if you're looking for that blue lobster, that white tiger, that's the components that I think if they stick with you when times are bad.
Okay, yeah.
That is a key indicator. It's a key action that you have to collect as a data point.
But I want to make a point on that.
Something.
Yeah, because I don't want somebody to meet me at my lowest. I do definitely think high value. I think
we talked about that, and I said, bro, the scary thing is dudes like me who have gone significant amount of times without a relationship, I'm not at my lowest and I have no plan to be at my lowest going into the future. The time that he found her or came across her, he was at his lowest. And then through the actions, through the data, was able to understand the best choice or the option within that decision. But I said, bro, but what about for me? Like, I've been single for a long time. I don't plan on being at my lowest. Like, something might happen, but like I still got things put in place as bumper rails to make sure that I stay, pretty. And he said, yeah, in that situation, I don't know. Like, that was the answer.
Like, I'm gonna give you a real life example. The girl that I was dating at my lowest, like when I didn't have money, I was going to school and everything on that. I would not. I mean, she was down. She was a writer, like, you know what I'm saying? But you need some food or whatever held me down.
Yeah.
Would not. Because she couldn't handle my growth.
Oh.
Like, as I grew, she was stagnant. And she thought she used that kind of as a leash or cuff. Like,
to pull you back down?
I was there for you when nobody knew you, before you was anything else. And I'm like, okay, but I'm moving up, I'm moving and stuff like that. So I felt like, and sometimes I would ask myself like, yo, she really did put in work. She was down for me, and I was conflicted. Like,
what was the conflict though? Because
she has a point. She was there when all I was doing was just living. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have some of the resources.
So what conflicted you about not choosing her?
Well, one is she didn't the growth. Like
so she wanted
driven.
To
like,
somewhere.
Like I wanted somebody to share this journey with me and to be, And I'm not saying that she had no drive, but my drive was on like this, and her drive is like, I'm good with this. Like, I don't need much. Man. You know what I'm saying? I'm a simple life is so good. She had other values. Like, she loved, community, family. She had very good, family, stuff like that. But her drive, bro, was just not matching mine. And so I had to weigh, all right, am I going to, carry her? Or just, let her be? Or am I going to settle lower? And kind of be like, all right, I'm good here. Or I'm going to keep going.
Yeah. So I guess to pull it back to this video, so it's like low standards, no matter if it's male or female, seem to be a problem. I think the best is
but I don't
both
like when
come
women
with
have
a degree of high standards,
but real
medium
standards.
to high standards is generally a better solution because what happens is you start to get this right, and
that gap,
and it can have negative impacts on relationships.
What type of friend is she? You need to have these standards. Does she have any morals or principles? Does she know how to communicate? Does she apologize when she's wrong? All of this stuff should be standards. These are basic standards that any man should have when choosing a woman. But some of you don't make it a requirement. You don't even care. And I'm going to give you a few examples of the way that some of you do this. The first way is through social media. Now, a lot of women use social media platforms to gain attention and validation and to get that false sense of confidence, to get that boost of confidence that's not really real. And then they turn around and use that false sense of confidence to treat you like you are not on their level. They use that false sense of confidence to treat you like you are not good enough and like they are better than you in some way. So you see a sister posting a picture of her butt, her breast, or whatever, and that's literally all she ever posts. You don't see her talking about nothing else. She ain't teaching nothing. She's not passionate about nothing. She's not sharing her talents with you.
Big point, Sara. That's the first thing that I look at when I'm looking at a social media page, and I always try to get that first because you get to see an understanding of how they portray themselves or the brand that they're trying to, right? Like if they got all these pictures and it's always like some body part is always creeping their way in there, like she's doing that for your validation. And even if you get in a relationship with a woman that's like that, like you don't have her. Instagram has her. She's a slave to that validation. You see what I'm saying? Dog, I think it's a crazy world that we live in. You know what I'm saying? In the sense that we have access to something like this where, you can get metrics on what you look like or how good that you take a selfie. You know, and be able to use that as ammo. Crazy.
I mean, I think we're in the second generation of social media, when people that remember, what was it, MySpace, Facebook, Instagram, and people are starting to really realize, I think Instagram talking about taking away the likes. Like, this is a problem, bro.
They already did for business pages.
Yeah, it's a problem. Like, make sure she has good content, something more than just the pictures and stuff like that, because it's creating people that don't seek respect, they seek approval. And I think that's really what is the issue right now. And I think she's hitting right on it. You're enabling that. If you're a guy, you're liking all that kind of stuff. And I look at somebody's pictures. Like, I'm not saying I'm not guilty of that. But if she's not giving you anything else, then you're pretty much validating. That's how stuff continues to go through society. Continue to
unfollow them.
Oh,
I'll keep it funky with you. Unfollow them. Unfollow. Stop liking. Stop doing all of that. Because you're a fan. Right, and after you done and after you comment with the heart eyes and this, that, and the third, like what did you gain?
Yeah.
What did you gain by enabling validation? Nothing. She still views you as a fan. Yeah. Slide in her DM, she will ignore you. So what was the point? What did you get out of that? All right, let's keep going. Let's see what else she got to say.
Her goals with you, any other interest, just her butt, just her hips, her thighs. That's all you see. And you immediately give it your attention. You immediately give her that validation. You immediately give her that false sense of confidence. Did it ever occur to you that you are giving her the ammo that she needs to make you feel like you are not good enough for her? Because that's what a lot of sisters do. And I'm not saying that you can't like what you're attracted to. That's not what I'm saying. But make sure you are putting that same energy into other sisters, because I see sisters all the time sharing their artwork or their music or whatever their craft is, something that they are interested in, showing that they are passionate about something other than money and attention, and that they have some sense of femininity. Because to be creative and to be in tune with that sensual side of yourself, to be vulnerable and share that with the world, you have to have some sense of femininity in you. I see some sisters that they might be plus size sisters that are sharing their journey in the gym, and they might not have reached their fitness goals yet, but they're at least showing that they're at least trying, they're working on their goals, they're in the gym, and they get nothing, no love. So many of these sisters that are passionate and are doing other things, they get no love, they get no attention. But then the women that really don't need a lot of extra attention, you give it all to them.
I don't like it all. Don't like. Why do you care? Whether or not she's a plus size sister or she's, you know what I'm saying, baddie. Why? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I think, like, if they're random, right? Like, if you got, like, friends in your social circle and you want to show some support, hoorah, go ahead, and have a good time in doing that. But I feel like, I think what I'm thinking through here is the time waste or the time sink that can go into social media, and dudes spending a ridiculous amount of time scrolling when they should be building.
I think that's the ultimate goal with where we're going in life. Like, that's where context is going, and like social media. I'm real though. I know people like stuff. I know people click stuff, and I'm gonna tell you the reason the girl who's going to the gym getting her body right is not getting the likes is because it's an attraction thing. You can't get men are gonna be attracted to ass, titties, and your physical appearance. Period. You can make it up whatever your mind is. I don't necessarily think this is enabling. I just know guys, that's just what it is, and that's what men want at a certain level. And then when you mature enough, you talking about like having a real relationship, not Instagram, because like that's not you're a fan, like he said. But if you're trying to like holler at somebody for real, then yes, it has to be. But to me, all right, come on, you way too deep. This is like too woke for me. Like
it's too woke.
It's too woke for me. Like there's a reason. Like because they're attracted to it. Like if I see a Benz and a Bentley, it's a reason. Like I'm not. Civic's very,
because you like the Benz.
I like the Benz and Bentley. Like I just feel like sometimes people will just be so woke that they blind to the fact that you can fight for it all you want, but I'm still looking at her ass. I'm still looking at that in that sense. Yeah, that's what I like.
I mean, the cover of magazines is not gonna be the chick that's in transition. It's the one who already made it.
Yeah. Now you go back and like, oh shoot, that's Lizzo back in the day. Shout out to Lizzo. I think she's a good artist, but you know what I'm saying? Like she might have been, you know what I mean? Who was it? What was her name? Jordan or something. She lost a lot of weight. She was dating
Sparks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She was cute in the face and everything. I hate when people say that too. Like, oh, you cute for a big girl, whatever. So that's definitely trash. But what I'm saying is, but when she came up, Cass was like, listen. So salute to all the people on the journey, but I don't gotta like your journey.
I don't. But meanwhile, you got me. I've been in shape my whole life, and no one likes my photos. You know what I'm saying? Just for I've been doing this for forever. I've been in the gym working out. But meanwhile, you let it go, and then you get on a journey, and people like it because of it. What about me?
For men, it ain't like that. Get your money, get your ones up. Get your money up.
Yeah, it's just a lifestyle. I just love to work out, so it is what it is. The way that I live. You know what I'm saying?
Also, you can't eat everything though.
I mean, listen, diet is a huge part of it.
Yeah, honestly, and you get older, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm in my 30s. Like, I'm starting to really realize I can't eat and consume just anything. But that's another subject for another day. But
all right, let's do one more, and then we won't do the entire video.
That's kind of backwards. So that's the first way y'all do it. Another way that y'all do it is when y'all always talking about the hitting and the quitting and the pumping and the dumping. Some of y'all say that with such conviction and such pride, and y'all say it in my comments all the time. That's why I just hit and quit. That's why I just pump and dump. And I know that to you all it sounds good, but to me it sounds like, yeah, I put my rod inside of a woman, or I lay down next to a woman that I don't feel is on my level. I lay down and I give a part of myself to a woman that doesn't even meet my standards and requirements. She really is not good enough for me, but I'm going to give her some of me anyway. What does that really say about you? What does that really say about how you feel about yourself? What you got to understand, brothers, is that during intimacy, men give their life force. You literally give your life force. As women, we take it. That's why a lot of you feel depleted and drained, and you suffer in silence and depression. And you don't know why, because you feel like you're doing everything right. But a lot of times it's because you're giving your life force and you're giving all this energy, but you are not making it a requirement for women to reciprocate energy in any type of way. They're not pouring any of that positive energy back into you. They're not being made to respect you. They're not being made to be your peace of mind. They're not being made to do any of that. All they have to do is just be cute if they are and have a yoni, and they get energy from you. They get to take from you, and you.
I agree and disagree with him. Do you have a point?
No, go first. Cause I'm not on the same page.
I agree and disagree. So I'd say like in my earlier 20s, like, I would disagree with you. I think there's something innate about a man's need to hunt. And I think it's just biological factors that are in there. Just the conquest, irrespective of if she treats me well afterwards, right? Like that it's that hunter-gatherer, see, seek, grab, take it back to the cave. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, there's something about that still, you can have situations like that occur, be the victor or in that situation, and it's still like, it feels good. It does. I think as you get older into your 20s and deep into your 30s, you then start to think about the culmination of your life. And then what she's saying, I think, reigns a little bit more true, because it's not as fun anymore. I mean, I'll keep it funky with you guys. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll see different dating coaches on the internet, tell you one thing and one thing only through the entirety of your life. And it's really all based off of how different each of us are. But as someone who's had experience throughout my entire life with a lot, it can get boring. It can get boring. And what's popping to you right now in your 20s, like, what was the video games that you played when you were 10 years old, you would never play them today. The type of women that you go for when you're 20 years old, you won't go for when you're 30 years old or 35 years old. It might shift and change. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. Like, when I was in my 20s, I was going for, the conquest, and the fun of that conquest. Now it's like, I don't have time. And I move well in my purpose, because I do understand that there's an essence about me that some of these women don't deserve. They just don't deserve. What's up? Talk to me, bro.
So yeah, a lot of that. So I come from different, like, pump and dumping. Like, I never really cared about it in my 20s. I wanted to make money. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Pussy was good, sex was good, but it was never a priority for me. Like, and I think that's really where I totally don't agree with people to be like, oh, pump and dump stuff. Like, you sound just like that's all that you care about. Like,
yeah, so but you can't deny that it didn't feel good.
No. I'm not denying that, but I'm saying it just never. It's even to this day, it's not that high on my priority list, because you handling your business, you're gonna get something. Like, it just comes with the equation to me, and that's just how I was raised. Was like, my cousins, my dad, everybody, they'd be like, yo, don't worry about that. That's gonna come. You take care of yourself. You do whatever you want to do from an early age. So to her point where she had people commenting like, oh, I just pump and dump. That's why I pump and dump, or that's why I just have sex and leave them, or whatever the case may be. That's a very immature person, or someone who letting sex control them, in my opinion, who's like so that. But on the flip side of that, when she finishes about like, you either want more, I think it comes with being a man, like you said, to want to make love. And I hate to sound like I'm contradicting myself, but it does come with, you have those urges, and there's nothing wrong with it. You ain't gotta have a relationship with everybody. If you just having your life, you going on through life, don't mean you need to be all serious. I wouldn't tell somebody who's in their 20s to be serious, all that serious, because you have a lot of exploring of yourself to do. So I think you should just be making love. Y'all should be kicking it. If you had that, like you say, like a lot of your videos, if you're honest and real about it, by all means, you're gonna have a good time. So don't be getting all deep when you're in 20s and like, what about this and that and this and that. Nah, just focus on you, man. Keep pushing, and then when that time comes, maybe.
I want to make a quick point because I think when you were saying pump and dump, and I just want to make it abundantly clear, this is not just a man thing.
Oh.
There's a lot of women that will use you for your body as well.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? I've been pumped and dumped from a woman's perspective a few times that I can pull up in my life. I was like, damn, I was just
you had the Eddie Murphy moment. Like,
I didn't have a problem with it.
A boomerang?
Yeah, I didn't. Oh gosh, she just wanted my loins. You know what I mean? No, I didn't feel bad about it. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's perhaps the difference. But trust me, they will use you the same way that you try to get them that same way. And I think that will happen.
Especially a lot of high value women. They really. Like, look, man, I'm not gonna be in town for a little bit, or this is only a temporary thing for me. If it goes any further, just hit me up. Don't try to make it all say like, let's talk about this stuff. I think that's when you start getting into places where you start simping or you get your feelings hurt, and that's because you didn't recognize that she wasn't, but she just wanted some dick.
There it is. Listen, men with low standards will never be respected and are part of the problem. I can't disagree with that sentence. Had slight change in direction from a couple of the things that Sara was saying, but still fantastic content.
We do contribute to the trash.
We're not going to continue to go through the video. I'll leave a link down in the description for you to continue the video over there. Shout out to Sara, fantastic content creator yet again. How you feel about this discussion, bro?
I think it's important. I think we, as much as we talk about the other side, you gotta start with you first. So as men, we gotta definitely be like, yo, you are a problem. You are causing all these issues in the social media. Like, I know we have to change it, bro, because if not, generations from now, we're gonna be damaged. We're part of the system that we complain about now.
But do you think dudes don't have standards because they don't think that they're worthy of, right? Is there some other type of psychological things that's going on there? Dudes not thinking that they have high standards because they really and truly don't feel like they are worth standards. Or you think it's just dudes just saying all I want is viscosity?
I think it's societal. Like, some guys that have lifted the woman up too high because their mom was the main person in their life, and they come through with like, all right, this person, worship the woman. And then there's some on the flip side of that who just see women as, meat. And so it's somewhere in between, so societal. So I think there's definitely a psychological element to it. And I think both are false narratives. You shouldn't do like either one completely or whatever the case may be. And there's an in-between route. So that's what I feel. I feel like you got some men out there who are like, yes, black queen, yes, queen mother, all this kind of stuff. Yeah, no. And then you got some guys that's just like, bro, fuck a bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Get on the knees and just pop open, bust it open. And that's not healthy either. Because then and that's why you get implants, and that's why you got this, these people like Black China and Amber Rose, which will come up all for you because you treating it like a transaction, they're going to treat it like a transaction. Got you.
There it is. Well, Sam, appreciate you for coming through yet again, giving your perspectives.
It's the platform that calls me, bro. Amen. So definitely hit the subscribe button, man.
Man, last question. Did you have fun here today?
Oh, man, fun. I had a great time, man. I still got the rest of it. It's early.
It's early, bro.
You know what I'm saying? That's why having your 30s, like, it's early.
It's early.
We ain't up late at night all the time.
Right. Man, we got to do a live stream as well, man. We got to have the commenters coming out and provide additional perspective. Questions, comments, concerns. Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. Link down in the description. Sam, thank you again for coming through.
It's an honor, my G.
What y'all think? Let me down in the comment box down below. Do men's standards, are they too low? Let's see it. All right?
Or too high.